WTA members, thanks for joining us. Today, President Marshall and I are here with past President Steve Ronspies. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Yes, nice to be here.
A few questions for you.
Yes.
What makes you most proud to be an athletic trainer in the state of Nebraska?
So even though I've been retired from active practice as an athletic trainer, I still consider myself to be an athletic trainer at heart.
Absolutely.
Just to have an opportunity to work with so many great people over the years that still remain very important in my life today was probably the most resonating thing about being involved in the athletic training community across the state a few years ago.
That's awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you for being a trailblazer for us in the association. It's been really great to catch up with you and all the other past presidents this month. Since you've been president, what has been a big change or changes within the association that really kind of stand out to you?
I look back at the numbers of members back when I was on the executive committee, whether it was secretary, treasurer, or president, and to see the numbers of athletic trainers at that point in time and to where we are today. I mean, how many licensed athletic trainers are there in the state?
We have 450 members within our association, probably more licensed.
So that's, I mean, even when I was graduated from college, I had to take a job in Texas because I couldn't find a job in Nebraska and had an opportunity to come back. And that's when I realized that the best opportunity for me to get to know people was to be involved, more involved with the state association. And so just to see the growth of the profession over the past 20 plus years has just impressed me. I've followed, obviously, the changes in the Practice Act that the association went through just recently. And I was involved in that process probably 20 years ago when we took it, and it grew. I mean, there was, I look back on the folks that were involved at the time: Jim Johnston, Rusty McCune, Bill Nervig, Denise Vandell, to name a few, that were very
great, influential. Yeah.
And they certainly, it was a great experience to help the practice grow and to give more opportunities for the people that are coming out of schools where they could go work. I've seen growth here in the Omaha area, but also across the state in the number of schools that have certified athletic trainers on staff. I was providing outreach services to a number of high schools when I first started. And, while it was fun, it was not a very sustainable way of providing health care to those students, coaches, teams, parents. And so to see the growth of the profession across the state like that has been just, very impressive, and a tribute to the people that have been involved with it.
It definitely has grown. Obviously, since you've been there, and then, even us, like just in the last few years, just watching it grow throughout the state of Nebraska.
The other thing that's impressed me is just seeing both of you and your involvement in the association. Back when I was involved, I was very fortunate to have an opportunity to work with Kathy English at UNK and Denise Vandell at UNO, and they were truly inspirational in the work that they did.
Yes, they were.
And obviously they made an impact on the three of you to be a part of the athletic training practice. And so to see that growth and to see the evolution has been something that's really struck me as one of the great things about the profession.
Oh, great.
Steve, you've been involved in all levels of our association, and you've really followed along over the last years. What kind of advice would you give to somebody who wants to get into leadership?
My advice is what are you waiting for? It's a great opportunity.
That's a pretty standard call, comment from others.
You're involved in the practice, and it's sometimes we're not very comfortable stepping outside of our box. And I remember going to a meeting, and it came back, and when I was involved in the association, it was just struck me that what we do and who we work with we're all in this together. And so for anybody that's involved in the association, I think serving on the executive committee in one way, shape, or another is a great way to not only give back to the profession, but it's also a great way to engage and get to meet
And
other
learn
people. And yes,
No,
exactly.
absolutely,
You
it
grow
is.
both personally and professionally. You know, I'd like to think that the work that the executive team does has a big impact on not so much what's going on today, but what's going on in the future. And so you have an opportunity to help set that table. And, you know, a lot of people are really quick to point out good and bad. And it's like, well, you know what? If you've got some opinions, be a part of it. And I think there's so many, you know, great kids that have come through and worked with a lot of athletic trainers that maybe didn't happen 20 years ago. And now they've had a chance to see and develop and evolve, not only from a clinical perspective, but also from a leadership. And they have good things to add to help make the profession and the association better.
That's awesome. Like Brooke said, you've been on all levels and you've worked in all sort of settings. What would you give advice to a young athletic trainer looking to get into athletic training? I mean, we talked about leadership, but just into athletic training.
I think the biggest thing is keep an open mind. One of the things that I always used to tell students when they came through was, you're not here to hold up the wall. Step away from the wall and get involved and be active.
That's a great quote. Write that
That is
down.
a good quote.
It's you know, to start to talk to somebody. I mean, the job that I have today, I wouldn't have had it if I didn't have the background as an athletic trainer. And so you never know where your path may take you. Athletic training is an amazing field with amazing people that are involved in it, but you've got to be able to go out and have conversations. And I think for the most part, athletic trainers by nature are very social and outgoing, but continue to expand upon the people that you meet, the network that you make, whether it's coaches or administrators or physicians or other allied healthcare providers. You know, they want to know what you do. And so just keep that open mind. Don't be afraid to get out and share your story with others.
That's what we've done.
Love that. Absolutely, it is.
Which we've talked, you know, before we all started. What level? Like you've been in everything. What? Tell us those levels you've been at. Obviously, college and all that.
Sure.
What areas of athletic training?
I feel very fortunate that I had a chance to work in a lot of settings. When I took a job out of college, I worked in a physical therapy clinic in Texas, and they had a more broad practice act, which allowed me to learn about a lot of things that I felt like I was weak in. You know, it was working with a physical therapist who was actually a Nebraska native, and he taught me a lot of things about just how to be a professional and really kind of identify, you know, the relationships and the things that will help you be successful down the road. When I came back to Nebraska, I took a job at one of the hospitals here in Omaha and started to do outreach. And so I was out marketing the physicians and the services of the hospital, but to me it was more about the care at the venues that I was working. I had a chance to do a lot of high school outreach. I ended up following the footsteps of the great Dodd Cox
Yes, absolutely.
with the Omaha Racers, and had a chance to work with professional sports, a professional basketball team. That gave me an opportunity to work with the U.S. Olympic Committee, and had a chance to go down and be a part of the 96 Atlanta Games, where Steve Brace, who was at
That's my dream.
I know,
Olympics.
it's amazing.
It was awesome. It was a great.
So fun.
It was just one of those things that, you know, you look at as a bucket list thing, as being an athletic trainer, to be involved in the Olympics. But that allowed me that opportunity to go there. I had a chance through some relationships at Creighton. Wayne Wagner, who had been at UNO and was the head athletic trainer at Creighton at the time, invited me to be a part of the College World Series. And I kind of laughed because my first year of helping with the series was 1990, and I still continue to be involved with the event to this day. Even though I'm not functioning as an athletic trainer, I'm still a part of kind of an athlete services team where we're just there to help and make sure things go along. So, you know, I look, and then to this day, I'm in medical device sales, and a lot of the things that I learned and did as an athletic trainer was, you know, we're typically the first ones there, we're the last ones to leave. We prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And, you know, and say that when you go into surgery, you're trying to make sure that you have everything lined up. And it's no different than what I did when I was functioning as an athletic trainer. So it's just taking those bits and pieces and plugging them into my life, which I am very fortunate to be where I'm at today.
Well, we are so thankful for you to be here. We're so thankful for you to be you started the NSATA and being a part of that. So thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.